can't kill Michael Myers! It's impossible!
This is what happens when you work to change things.
You're being a little bitch.
What do you fucking want from me? Get off my dick!
You know, if you don't understand the situation, it's better sometimes not to speak and just be proven a complete imbecile in the matter. Okay, so the MOASS is officially...
I think you a bitch. You understand what I'm saying?
Excuse me. The MOASS...
saying? Is that what you're saying? Or
Well,
what are you saying?
Well, if you would let me talk, I'm trying to say...
You're crazy, then they fight you.
Yeah, right.
I don't know. I don't really think that's the case.
Well, anyway...
then all of a sudden you change the world.
What I was trying to say was that the MOASS appears to be officially dead. It appears to be. Now, looks can be deceiving. So, let's put this back in color and take a look here on Reddit, which is always where the best stuff is. It's always. So, here's somebody. If you can't handle the price action, I understand. Okay. Because this is breaking my heart. Today, my 50K investment turned 3,600. I do feel like I will never break even with AMC, but I am still not selling because 2 years ago I told myself moon or zero. No sell. No sell. I guess I still am an ape. Fantastic. That's good for you. Why would you tell yourself moon or zero? Why would you give yourself two options? No third option? Really? You told yourself something 2 years ago, and it's impossible for things to change. You can't revise your outlook. You can't incorporate new information. You can't update your thinking. You can't make a profit in the stock market. You can't learn and grow as a human being. I don't understand this closed, fixed mindset here. I told myself moon or zero. Okay, no sell, no sell. Now that's an interesting one, referring to Ken Griffin. If Ken Griffin doesn't go to prison, then I'm never selling. Well, then you will never sell, probably. You probably never will. It doesn't matter anyway, obviously. So, obviously. And then the other one here. One thing is abundantly clear here. Okay, this is the Ortex guy, Jay Drukas. I would love to know who this actually is, what he actually does, and what the fuck he's actually been doing. There are a lot of apes, quote unquote, who agreed from the beginning that this really needs to go to zero before the MOASS sends its flying beyond the stars, but who actually didn't truly believe that. Okay, so there were a lot of quote-unquote apes who said from the beginning it needs to go to zero before the MOASS, but they didn't actually believe that. They just said it, okay? With all the paid bashers and shills, ooh, me. That's me. It's hard to distinguish the real bears, fake bulls, paid posters, and just genuinely scared apes. And that's very much on you. We knew early on that this was going to look like a VW graph. No, we didn't. No, we didn't. We talked about how the pressure needs to be built up to a point where it would be insane not to buy at such a low price and force that last bit of liabilities on hedge to break their backs and their funds. What? That is a sentence. Yes, it looks like a sentence. It reads like a sentence, but it means nothing. That is meaningless. That is oh my God. It would be insane not to buy at such a low price and force that last bit of liabilities on hedge to break their backs and their funds. Honey, Oh, Jesus. Now a select few are acting like cowards. Feet from the enemy trenches, they are sitting in the mud and their own excrement, acting like they didn't enlist in the ape army. Decide if this is for you or not. We know Hedgie has zero interest in producing millions of billionaires. Just don't you dare complain later when we make bank while you're trying to convince yourself selling at a loss was a worth venture for you. Real apes, I stand with you. I know what I hold and why it's so valuable. I would love to know why it's so valuable. Chimps roaming as apes, apply to Citadel as an intern and try to make some of your money back before they vanish. Ooh, such tough talk. Such tough fucking talk. What a real ape that guy is, right? Been waiting for Scott all day. AMC down 36% in one day. Is that so? Yeah. We will do the MSNBC clip because that's a good one. And I just realized that you don't see that. Now you do. Okay. Right. So yeah, we'll play the MSNBC clip. So, but before we do any of that stuff, before we go to YouTube, before we go back to Reddit, before we look at anything else, I have something I want to do. I've been wanting to do this for a while. So I thought it would be appropriate to eulogize this situation. Not the apes, obviously. They're still, for better or worse, they're still here, I guess. They're still alive. And that counts for a lot, like that's really all that matters, right? But well, anyway, just sit back and listen to this commemoration, this eulogization, this in memoriam, if you will, for the AMC stock people. So, ladies and gentlemen, family and friends, we gather here today to remember and pay tribute to the brave souls who ventured into the world of stock investing with hope and optimism, only to face a turbulent and challenging journey, particularly in their investments in AMC stock. While it may seem unconventional to eulogize financial investments, it is a testament to the emotional and financial toll that these individuals have endured. In the world of finance, there are no guarantees. There are no guarantees. And the path to financial success is often filled with highs and lows. Our friends and loved ones who invested in AMC stock, they embarked on a journey that captured the imagination of many. They believed in the power of collective action, in the potential to challenge the status quo, and in the idea that small investors could stand shoulder to shoulder with giants. These investors, often affectionately referred to as quote-unquote AMC apes, exhibited what some may consider remarkable resilience in the face of adversity. They held their shares with unwavering determination, even as the stock price fluctuated wildly. They formed a community. Some may call a cult, but that community extended beyond borders, backgrounds, and beliefs, united by a common purpose and a shared dream. While the journey was marked by moments of exhilaration as AMC stock experienced unprecedented surges, it was also punctuated by heart-wrenching declines. The price of AMC stock swung like a pendulum, leaving many with losses that ran deep. These investors witnessed their portfolios diminish by 80, 90, 95%, a harsh and painful reality. But let us not focus solely on the financial aspect, for these investors were more than their portfolios. You see, they were individuals who dared to challenge the norms of Wall Street. They were dreamers who believed in the power of unity and the possibility of rewriting the rules. They were steadfast in their convictions, and their story will forever be etched in the annals of financial history. In our reflections, let us remember the lessons that can be drawn from this chapter of investing. It reminds us of the volatility of the financial markets, the importance of true due diligence, and the significance, importance, and sheer necessity of diversification. It also underscores the need for a supportive, honest community in times of both triumph and tribulation. So as we bid farewell to the hopes and dreams so many invested in AMC stock, may we also salute the resilience, camaraderie, the indomitable spirit of those who walked this path. The losses they endured were not just financial, but also a testament to their courage, unity, and unwavering belief in the possibilities of their future. In their memory, let us remember that life's journey is fraught with uncertainties, indeed, but it is in the journey itself always that we forge the bonds and the lessons we learn, that we find the true value of our experiences, and that's you cannot find in any stock price or any stock chart. Our departed investors may have faced financial losses, but they leave behind a legacy of courage over facts, community over common sense, and a reminder that even in the face of adversity, when we stand tall and united, we still don't always succeed. So rest in peace, dear AMC stock investors. Your journey may have ended here, but your spirit will forever live on, both in the hearts of those who admired your determination and those who tried to warn you. Let's hear it for the apes. Okay, now, I will say, that was Chat GPT composition, which I did not revise or tweak or edit, and actually didn't read all the way through before that time. So, but not bad, not bad, right? I mean, it's better than I could have done. Probably could have, finessed it here and there. Some of the stuff was a little bit too respectful for my taste, but hey. Anyway, let's see. Hello, everybody in chat. I'm going to try to keep moving here because I don't have all night. So if it seems like I'm ignoring the chat, I probably am, but I won't be. So if it's urgent, send me a Telegram message. So let's go ahead here with Jason. This is Jason. Say hi to Jason. Jason's an AMC grifter. And Jason, well, we'll just let Jason tell us how he feels about it. How do you feel about it? Here we go.
Hey friends, welcome to Stocks and Crypto Plays. We are witnessing live the largest theft campaign in the history of America. Who will investigate Aron and his criminal buddies? This is fraud. This is criminal behavior, okay?
Fraud and criminal behavior. No. No, sir. Fraud? Okay. let's just start here, okay? Every move that was made, I don't care if you want to think about it as chess or checkers or 4D, backgammon, whatever, okay? Every move, we knew ahead of time. We knew it. It was disclosed. We knew what was going to happen. And exactly what was prescribed to happen is what happened. I don't think, by definition, that even could be fraud. I don't see how it could be. You were informed ahead of time about what was going to happen. You can't say it's fraud. It wasn't fraud. It just wasn't. Criminality, criminal behavior, theft, all these dramatizations, emotional language. I mean, I plan to look. We're going to look at some things here in just a little bit that do fit into those categories that he mentioned. And we'll see, because, you know, it's all about the data. It's all about the evidence. It's all about the due diligence. So I have some on this, and we'll see very quickly that what happened with AMC is nothing like fraud or criminal behavior, or securities fraud or anything like that. It's nothing like that. Okay, so no, unfortunately, no.
The FBI get involved?
The FBI.
Who knows? Maybe they're
okay.
okay with it. Maybe they don't mind. But this is the largest criminal theft campaign in the history of America and possibly in the history of the world. So
this guy has definitely watched and idolized Donald Trump a little bit too much. I'm going to go out and say this is so florid, so overstated, so ridiculous. The biggest theft campaign in the history of the United States, history of the world even, possibly. Okay. But how is it theft, though? It wasn't even your money. It wasn't even your money. If you had an open fucking position, Jason, it wasn't your money. You hadn't claimed it. You hadn't made it yours. You didn't kiss the girl or ask her out, and she ran off with Pedro or whoever. You know, Elijah or Jacob. Not with Jason. Okay? You got to make your move. And, you know, chips fall where they may. You have to. You have to close the position. You have to, you know, ask the question. You have to take the first step. You have to, you know, take the last step. You have to take a step. Instead of sitting there and saying, oh my God, you stole from me. No, I didn't close the position, but you still stole from me. No. These people who have this line of thinking don't belong in the market. I mean, the market was waiting for them. Oh, it was waiting for them. And it's honestly sad that they're not going to be able to milk them for more. But they did pretty well. But, you know, this is just basic. You know, it's like winning the lottery, okay? I'll even put it in these terms. It's like winning the lottery and not cashing the ticket in. It's like having a bunch of unrealized profit at the casino in the form of chips, right? Chips or vouchers, but never cashing it out. And then you take it home and you lose it, and then you find it someday, years later. Let's just say that the casino is still in operation even, and you take it back, and you're like, I want to get my $1,000 that I didn't cash out 7 years ago. And the nice cashier lady smiles and turns the voucher over or points to the sign on the wall that says, you know, vouchers good for 90 days or whatever. Or chips not redeemable after XYZ. Oh, we've changed color chips. We know how old these chips are. You can't turn them in. Sorry, you forfeit your profit. You lost. And had you bothered to read our legal documentation, you would have known that we change chip colors every 6 months. And, you know, whatever. I'm just making these examples up to show that there are analogs, there are similar things that you can do to screw yourself over, to screw yourself out of money. And that's the key. That is the key word here, yourself. Yourself. See, where these guys get this wrong is many places, but the biggest one is, by far, not taking responsibility. Adam Aron didn't steal anything. Short sellers didn't steal anything. The AMC board didn't steal anything. Taylor Swift didn't steal anything. How could she? She's perfect. Tay-Tay. Nobody stole it. You failed to claim it by your inaction. You lost it. You lost it. You went and got 90% of your money took because you didn't protect it. You didn't say, oh, I'm going to take this. I'll have that. Thank you very much. No, you didn't. Sat there, made an excuse for everything. And it continues. It continues.
Right now, AMC stock, immediately after doing a 10-to-1 reverse split, so they took 90% away from all the shareholders that own shares worldwide, and then they crashed the stock as of right now 84%-ish, which is almost 100%. So they took everything. They took everything.
Yeah, it is.
AMC stock is down 90% as of right now. 90%.
Yep. Okay.
On the year. 90%. Close to 100% on the year. The key to this is that, you know, they did the reverse split. They left you with 10%, okay? And they crashed at 90%.
Yeah.
They took everything.
Right. And guess what? I mean, the stock was trading at, you know, the appropriate level. Initially. Why do I want to go back here? That's no point there. Look at there. 35, 36. Right there. I mean, that is something, you know. That is definitely something. I mean, 81%. 81% in about 2 weeks. You know, kind of makes these pumps back here look like they should have been sold, you know, right? I mean, we're still back in 2022 there. Can you imagine in 2022 with the market doing what the market did in 2022, which I can indicate on here. I can indicate that right here with this if I do it the right way. You got to do it the right way. There we go. You know, and again, these spikes, they correspond with market-wide short covering rallies. And it's interesting how this worked out because the orange line is the S&P 500, SPY. So, you know, and I'm looking at these corresponding with these. And we pointed this out at the time, of course. But, you know, look, what I'm looking at now is these over here. Oops, these over here. So this one, they do correspond. But they're weaker. They're weaker. Much weaker. Look at that. Look at how much weaker they are in AMC. Oops. Well, the SPY's gone now. Bye-bye, SPY. But they're weaker. saw that they were weaker. I mean, you don't even need the SPY on there to tell, right? Weaker. Less energy. Low energy. You know, like Sleepy John or whatever his name is. I don't know. So yeah, that's, I mean, and the trading volume too, hasn't been seen for a while like that. So adjusted wise now, you know, you're looking at, what's this, 85 million roughly. Yeah, that's today. 85 million, which I heard somebody say it was historic earlier. I actually did watch some videos earlier because I was just so curious. It's not historic because you actually had, you know, over $1 billion in the old regime before. This was during the GameStop squeeze of 21. So, you know, this move today is, you know, a little over half of that. But anyway, but it's still elevated volume and it's still a positive turnover ratio for sure. Okay, anyway.
They took everything from
everything.
Shareholders.
They
left us.
You know, they. Who are they? Who are they? We've been wondering for 2 years. Who are they? Who are they? Anyway, who are they? Well, I mean, the reality is here, if you want to phrase this properly, the market repriced AMC. And you hadn't bothered to take profits. So you were still holding your whole position. And so, you know, nobody per se took it. The market repriced it. You underwent an extreme repricing event. An extreme repricing event. And we've had a lot of those in the stock market over the last 2 years. So it's nothing new. These extreme repricing events, you know, you can't say that they stole anything. You just can't say that. The market was adjusted. The valuation was reconfigured or revisited, or Wall Street shifted its expectations. How about that? The outlook for AMC stock changed. Reality set in. I mean, you can think of it any number of ways, but except they stole it. They stole it. No.
With nothing. Okay, so what did they do to the retail?
I mean, and nobody ever advised the apes to put all of their money in one stock. And not everybody did. That's true. But a lot of people did. And that's not sad. It's not really sad. It's stupid, really. But anyway, continuing.
Retail shareholders.
I'm going to shut up for a while.
They took everything. Led by Adam Aron, CEO. Okay, as of right now, we are at 78 million volume, which is way higher than the average volume of 15 million. This is with the new float. So if you look at pre-reverse split, the 78 million is equivalent to 780 million. So we're really close to approaching 1 billion shares traded in volume, which is absolutely historic. It's a very sad day for American investors in AMC stock. And, you know, if the company was failing, that would be one thing you can understand. Oh, the company went bankrupt, or, you know, they just reported their worst earnings in the history of the company, something like that. You would be like, you know, it happens. But no, AMC had amazing earnings 3 quarters in a row, all higher than the previous. And they just reported a great deal with Taylor Swift that's supposed to bring in up to $1 billion in revenue, additional revenue that wasn't.
I'm just letting a lot of this slide, you know, because it's, you know, like kind of a whatever. But I mean, no, you didn't have 3 amazing quarters of earnings. Let's be honest here. I mean, come on.
Barbie and Oppenheimer, just those 2 movies in Q3 equate to $2 billion. Yes, $2 billion, just 2 movies that are in Q3 earnings.
In revenue.
So all of this...
Again, we don't care. Who cares about revenue? I mean, you do, apparently. you know, because, I mean, here's what he doesn't realize. Right now, he's extolling the virtues of AMC, the company. This is so ironic and twisted. He's so fucking lost. Truly a Magoo. Truly a fucking Mr. Magoo here. The blind leading the blind. He's extolling the virtues of AMC. Oh, the company's doing great. What are you talking about? No, they're not losing money. What the hell do you mean? Look, they got Barbie, they got Oppenheimer, they got Barbenhopper, they got, you know, whatever. They got popcorn, they got credit cards. What more do you want? Okay, what am I missing here? He's talking about fundamentals. He's talking about everything that Adam Aron has done as the CEO. And he's pissed because the stock price is down? This just does not compute for me. It really doesn't. And none of this stuff, you know, none of this stuff indicates a stock that belongs at $72 or higher in the old float. We'll get to Donahue George, and he'll talk about that a little bit for us. And there's also other important news regarding Donahue George that's actually exciting. It's actually an exciting piece of news, and people may have seen. So I'm just going to put that teaser, stick around, and see. But, I mean, how disingenuous can you get?
It's amazing news. All of the success of AMC means nothing. Because when you're a criminal and you steal shares and you can control the market,
steal shares,
whatever you want with the price, and nobody holds you accountable.
Well, I mean, that's the nature of capitalism, my dude. Like, seriously. And, you know, do I think it's great? No. Do I think it's a great thing? Do I think it's fair? Do I think whatever? No, it sucks. It's shitty. It's dumb. But it's a system we have. And you can have a conversation about that. But I don't want to have those conversations. I've had a lot of those conversations before. It's not even that I don't enjoy them. I do. Because there's a lot of facts on the side of, you know, bringing up some of these inconsistencies, let's say. There are some arguments to be made for sure. But the reality is the system we have is this. And so you can either play ball or you can get off the fucking field. That's the reality. So, you know, you chose to play ball. You lost the game. You got hit by the ball. You knocked your glasses off. Broke the lenses. You can't see. And it started raining. And you stepped in dog shit. Okay, that sucks. That sucks, but you know what? Life is a beach. And, you know, and then you die. So, I mean, what is the point of complaining and blaming everybody else when you're not going to get a do-over? There's no do-overs. You don't really see the point. Anyway, yeah.
The SEC...
That's all stuff that Adam Aron did to the company.
Gary Gensler, they do nothing. They close their eyes, pretend they can't see the crime.
Is he going to cry?
What do you think about it all, friends? What do you think about it all?
Well, I think that you should have been smarter. I think that you should have listened to somebody. Anybody other than your little circle jerk. Considered another viewpoint. Maybe you're wrong. They still can't even consider that viewpoint. They still can't even consider that they were wrong. It has to be crime. It has to be they stole shares. It has to be this. It has to be that. You got to be fucking kidding me.
Comment below. Are you ready to remove Adam Aron as CEO?
Oh, remove Adam Aron.
Would be to get me on the board, okay?
Yes, get me on the board.
Adam Aron, he stole from hardworking American families.
He did. Adam Aron did. Okay, there it is. Adam Aron stole. Adam Aron stole. Okay. Well, you know what? I'm going to highlight this comment. AMC's down 36% today. Scott has been calling it all along for 2 years. I mean, like, you know, dare I go against the title of this video, but I'll just go ahead and say it. It was pretty obvious to us in 2021 what was happening. After the run-up in June, you know, the question is, like, is this going to happen again? Does it happen again like that? And I mean, the answer is no. Like, these types of moves, and for one practical reason, among others, it traps too many people. Too many people got trapped in the emotional trade at high cost averages. And they're trapped. They got trapped. And that set up a massive overhead supply. Anyway, I'm going to continue, but thank you. I appreciate that. I mean, I'm not here to say I told you so. But God damn it, that's what this channel's been saying. Actually, no. Actually, no. We have been saying that. So yes, but also no. But I don't take my word for it. You know, that's really the message. Don't take anybody's fucking word for it. Actually learn. Actually look into it. Oh, you think you're bullish, right? Oh, okay. You're bullish. Cool. So you think the stock's going to go up. All right. Well, here's your assignment. Give me a dozen reasons why it could go down. Legitimate reasons. What could happen? What could you be possibly missing? Why could you be wrong? Now you're starting to get into some critical thinking. Now you're starting to talk in terms that we can use here. Now you're looking at things from different viewpoints, and you're trying to run these situations honestly and consider things that are outside of what you would normally consider. Hell, 2 dozen. 2 dozen reasons why you're wrong. 2 dozen reasons why I'm wrong. 2 dozen reasons. If I had 2 dozen reasons, would it change your mind? I don't know. Okay, continuing.
On the board ASAP, sign my petition. I'll put the link below. Once I'm nominated, I'll get on the ballot. Once I'm on the ballot, I'll win. I'll get on the board, and I'll work towards helping you retail shareholders, getting Aron out of there, putting a new...
Oh, well, see, that, I mean, that's the thing that this fucking clown doesn't want to realize, does not realize, is incapable of realizing. I don't know. I will help retail shareholders. Let's hear that again. That's such a good line. Listen.
Get me on the board ASAP. Sign my petition. I'll put the link below. Once I'm nominated, I'll get on the ballot. Once I'm on the ballot, I'll win. I'll get on the board, and I'll work towards helping you retail shareholders, getting Aron out of there, putting a new CEO in. Okay, I am done with Aron. This is awful what he's done to retail shareholders.
Wow. Donald Trump Jr. or something here. Yeah, work on your acting skills a little bit. Yeah, so he's going to help you retail shareholders. I don't care for that tone, but so you're going to help run the company profitably. You know, working back to a modicum of profitability. You're going to do everything to strengthen the company. I mean, these are things that the leadership of a corporation does. Yes, does. The leadership does that. That's what they do. So now he's going to get, he already mentioned it a little bit. He may get into it more. Why AMC did not need to do this dilution. And they think that the company's doing just fine. But I mean, this is the problem here. This is the problem when you're ignorant, okay? You know, he talked about all this money that they made. Oh, they made $2 billion. Yada, yada, yada. No, they didn't. No, they didn't. You're talking about box office revenue. That's not money that AMC keeps. They don't keep all of that. That's revenue. Revenue versus profit. Could he tell you the difference? Revenue, cost, profit, margin. What do these things mean? You need to know. You need to know. Otherwise, you're susceptible to being fooled by an idiot like this who wants to wow you with revenue numbers. Oh, yes, the revenue. The revenue. Because it's all about the revenue. No. No.
Awful.
And by the way, I mean, the revenue is up largely because of inflation. Let's be honest. Everything is more expensive. Everything is up. So, by nature of the way numbers work, that means that they're going to bring in more money. Does that mean they get to keep more money? Not necessarily. And it also so happens that many corporations kept more money, and hence we have reinflation starting to poke itself out. It's popping out of that seed casing. But that's another discussion. We've been saying that for a while too. But we have. Along with others, not just us. Okay, continuing.
The largest theft campaign in the history of America.
I dispute that.
Do you guys realize we were up 20%?
I dispute that it's theft.
As of this morning, before Adam Aron dropped this news, we were up 20%, approaching 40%.
But you knew it was going to happen. You knew it was going to happen. Why? It was the whole point of the whole ape thing. So you got your way last year and 2021. They didn't sell additional shares. They didn't raise money with equity. Okay. But now they have to. They have to. They told you they were going to do that. They told you in order to get around this artificial restriction that Adam Aron believed was in place. Should have just put it up for a vote. And then done the ape thing. Then he would have had a leg, more of a leg to be respected. Anyway, maybe by these people. Probably not. You knew everything. It was all disclosed. It wasn't news. Okay, we didn't expect it to happen today. Why would you wait? The company needs money. Okay, I mean, just so disingenuous and stupid.
Trying to recover, and Adam Aron timed it out perfectly, but he made sure he gave AMC one little bump, up towards $14, right before he dropped the hammer and dropped the news of this dilution, 40 million dilution, and crashing the stock.
Wasn't really
so he was able to get the word out
fruitful.
To let all his hedge fund buddies know, everybody buy puts, buy all your puts.
Come on.
He's going to crash harder than
Come on.
Right? He let all them know to buy the puts yesterday. Probably.
The notion that Adam Aron is a short seller or is helping short sellers, it doesn't make sense to me. There's no evidence for that. There's no evidence. And hey, Model 3 dude, Donnie said that people are contacting him about running for the board. Oh, okay. Right. Sure. It's just ridiculous. Ron. Of course, you can see why he would be in high demand. Yeah. Yeah, Enron. The Donnie vid, which one is that? Because I've got them. Yeah, voting is an issue for sure. And, that's a good point about talking a big game without being invested in the company. About being invested in the company, and then they no-show the votes. But yet they want another freaking share count. Let's have another share count. Project Popcorn share count. Yes, let's do another one, shall we? Look, I can submit my survey response. When did you first buy AMC? How many shares do you hold on various days? Did you receive the correct number of proxy votes? Yes, no, I choose not to or don't remember. How many shares? How did you vote your shares? Pfft, I'm not telling you that. Was your affidavit notarized? Yeah, right. I mean, come on. Notarized? Yeah, right. Hell no. Okay.
You know, anyone who bought a put yesterday, doing real well right now. Who could have known AMC would crash this hard? Just Adam Aron, just the insiders, okay? So where's the investigations, friends? Where's the investigations?
I mean, did Adam Aron or any insiders sell any shares? I don't really feel inclined to look. I doubt it. All
You
right.
take a look at AMC stock, it's $8.70. That equates to pre-split numbers of 87 cents. AMC stock's at 87 cents.
No, it's at
87 cents?
870.
Really?
No,
With
it's at
amazing
870.
earnings from Q2. And
Amazing
Q2 is gonna be
earnings.
probably the best earnings since 2019.
The best earnings since 2019. Right. And the company was doing so well then. Jason, you need to brush up on your corporate history of AMC if you expect to be elected to the board. I mean, I'm not voting for somebody who can't even get the facts straight. My God.
Bonus with the Taylor Swift concert deal.
The Taylor Swift concert deal. Yes.
Popcorn revenue, all the strong things that AMC.
We'll do the MSNBC video next. I keep forgetting.
Now AMC can create liquidity too
Whoops.
as well.
They can create
AMC
liquidity.
Stocks at 87 cents.
They can create liquidity. 87 cents. 870, my friend.
Prior to this theft campaign.
Theft campaign.
Prior to this theft campaign, guys.
Wow.
We were at $10, $12.
Cult leader right here. Wannabe cult leader.
Pre-reverse split. Before they took 90% of your shares.
Yeah, you should have sold then, maybe. You should have taken some of the money off the fucking table if you knew this was going to happen, which you did. You knew it. You should have known it. If you had listened to anybody who said, hey, you may need to consider some other viewpoints. What about this? What about that? Oh, I'll look into it. Oh, you're a shill. Yeah, that's more like it. But no. No, it was, it's going to send the stock to the moon. Or, oh, no, the judge is going to save us. Or, oh, no, this or that. Oh, this or that. No. You knew it was going to happen. You sat on your hands. You watched it happen. Now you're pissed. I mean, really, this is more attention than any of these fucking clowns deserve. You're welcome.
A 550 million share float. Now we have a 55 million share float with 149 million shares outstanding. And Adam Aron's about to dilute.
That was backwards.
Million, right? So that what did that put you at? Like 190 million-ish shares outstanding? It's still significantly lower than it was at the 500.
Who cares how many shares there are? Doesn't matter.
Significantly lower. And where are we in the stock price? $8.75?
Yeah, pretty piss poor.
What? Where is the investigation by the SEC? Where's the
investigation? So you dumped your money into something without knowing the facts, believing a set of alternative facts. No, it wasn't that you didn't know the facts. You chose the facts that you chose to believe. You picked and you chose your facts. You cherry-picked them. You used every logical fallacy, cognitive bias in the book. Every one, practically, including hyperbole. I mean, why is anything... Why investigation into what? How people could be so out of touch? Oh, I guarantee there are investigations, academic investigations, psychology departments, finance departments, economics departments, sociology departments all over the world have been taking note of this. I mean, why would you not use this example if you were teaching a finance course? Why would you not? You have to. You have to. I will. Next finance course I teach.
The investigation
If I ever
by
do.
the FBI. Where's
would.
the criminal investigation? Who's looking into this? James O'Keefe, where are you?
Oh,
I asked you to investigate these guys. Where are you?
like
Who's
they're
gonna
so
step
confident
up?
that, anybody would find anything if they did investigate it. I mean, how does he know? Jason, how do you know that Mr. O'Keefe didn't look into it and conclude that you're a fucking idiot? That you have, you're just another fucking random fucking moron on the internet who has no clue what they're talking about. Like so many don't. How do you know that? You don't know that. You just assume, oh, yeah, take one look at it. Just look at this, look at that. Take one look at it and say, look at this. Wow, look at all that crime. Would you look at that? Obviously, that didn't happen, did it? Obviously, that didn't happen. John fucking Stewart was tangentially, briefly involved in this as well. Nothing happened there. Why not? Is he not smart enough to see the crime? You'd think that he would be. You'd think that these guys would be. You would think.
I'm stepping up. I'm running for the AMC board. Are you going to nominate me? Are you going to put me on the board so I can put an end to this corruption?
Well, put an end to the corruption that is called a company raising money through equity in order to avoid bankruptcy and shore up the balance sheet.
Step one. Okay?
That's so criminal.
Comments. Hit like, subscribe, and notifications. When you
My
hit like,
God.
you're hitting like to support my message.
What the fuck?
Our message to say Adam Aron's a criminal.
Wow.
Stole our money. We're angry.
I mean,
We want to.
this is
That's why you hit like.
possibly
Share the video with
defamatory.
your friends.
Now, I'm not a lawyer.
I'm a little steaming angry because I care about every one of you.
No, you don't.
Like crime.
No, you don't.
And
You're a
I
fucking
like-
greedy fuck. You're greedy. Be honest about it. You're
Adam
fucking
Aron is
greedy.
Stealing money in front of everyone's faces.
Adam Aron is stealing money.
Getting away with it. Okay. Everything here is my opinion. It's not financial.
It's not
advice. I'm
factual.
a
Just
financial
fucking
advisor,
say it.
okay?
It's not
These are my
factual.
opinions, and I'm entitled to them. And
Oh, yes, you are. Yes, you are, son. You're entitled to your opinions, and they matter. Oh, they're just as valid as any opinion out there. Yep. There's nothing. Nobody can ever be wrong. You know, it's your opinion. You're always right. But except you're not, because you're fucking broke. You're a broke fucking loser. But at least you have your opinion. At least you have your opinion and your glasses, your purple specs. I like them. I dig them. I like them. I do. But you fucking lost.
I think you agree. All right. Talk to you soon. Have a great.
Manipulative motherfucker right there. That guy's dangerous. That guy's fucking dangerous. I'm telling you. Okay, let me get to this MSNB, ABC, CBS interview here, wherever it is. Coming up real soon. Real soon. Okay, here we go. We'll get it. We'll pick this up over on X.com or Twitter. Okay, so we have these people on MSNBC, and what the hell? I'll do this. So we have these people on MSNBC, and a couple of these people were present in 2021. Now, the guy, I forget his name off the top of my head. It is Tim Seymour. Tim Seymour. Now, I know everybody remembers when there was a segment on MSNBC with Melissa Lee where she uttered the now infamous words, naked shorts, yeah, right? Tim Seymour was on that segment. He was saying to Trey Collins, who was also on that segment, that basically you got this whole thing wrong, kid. Like, really. It's not hedge funds versus retail. You know, that's a false narrative. And by the way, and also people are selling shares that they don't have. And then Melissa Lee so brilliantly said, naked shorts, yeah. Well, except he did not describe naked shorting. He said they're selling shares that they don't own, which obviously that is short selling. And our system is set up a certain way where our brokers go find shares to borrow, and everybody's happy. So that was dumb, but that really was a moment. It was a moment. It was a thing in this community cult. It gave them energy. It gave them vindication. It gave them credence. But it was wrong. It was so utterly wrong. And it was so utterly clear. And I highlighted this, made videos about it. Nobody really noticed, especially then. Especially then. But it was fun. It was great fun. And there is no way that this idiot from Ohio here, I'm talking about myself, could have been the only person, seemingly one of the very few to actually speak up about it, who realized this and said, hey, wait a minute, guys, what are you talking about? They're not talking about naked short selling, my friend. They're not. And by the way, the rest of what he said makes a lot of goddamn sense. You should listen to it. But anyway, here we are 2 years later, full circle, the full circle. And what do they have to say? Well,
I've been keeping close eye. The whole thing is just so crazy. So the debt that matures the soonest is the 2025. I actually think, wow, it doesn't trade as terribly as it could, given what a disastrous situation this company is in. That's not that bad. So they're going to issue this 40 million shares. The stock today traded well over 40 million shares, but apparently that wasn't the companies issuing their stock yet. So who knows when that actually happens? I mean, it's so.
That's a hard blow right there. The fact that they apparently they didn't sell the new shares today. I thought there were a couple moments. There were a few moments where it really seemed like we were seeing dilutive action. But somehow, I guess she knows that they didn't. I don't know. You can't tell. I mean, you can't tell those type of things. It's like you can't tell short selling or covering, really. In the case of a short covering rally, obviously it's different. But in the normal course of buying and selling, you can't tell. In the normal course of buying and selling, you're not going to see that. And let me say, I think it's on purpose that you can't. But anyway, they haven't even sold the shares yet.
Sort of like, do you remember Apollo 13? Everything blew up and they were taping stuff together with duct tape and deciding to ricochet around.
Who doesn't? It was a great movie from my childhood. If a washing machine could fly, my Jimmy could land it.
The moon to hope.
Well, if a popcorn machine could fly, Adam Aron could land it.
Say that's what these guys are trying to do. At 100 miles an hour, where they're losing money just hand over fist. You got a tiny blip up for Taylor Swift. I don't think that's enough to make it. I'm excited to see how this ends. It's extraordinary that it hasn't ended already.
And what's
here he is.
What you just said then 2 years ago, when this stock was high with the
he was at home. He was at home in his den, and he was saying, guys, what are you talking about? You are going to set yourself up for major fucking failure.
When this stock was riding high with the momentum of, the memers. It was idiotic. First of all, it was burning cash. It burned $630 million.
There she is.
I don't know what it burned in 21. It was probably around the same amount. It's going to burn a couple hundred, probably 250 to 280 this year. This was a broken company. It had nothing to do with the establishment or hedge funds. It has everything to do with secular headwinds.
And let's interject here, too. The hedge funds, they did a trade. It was a good trade. Everything closed down. Why would you not short it if you're a trader? That's the game. That's the business. It is a business. That's the business.
that have been going on in the box office. And it was a great summer, by the way. And the, T-Swizzle and all the Swifties aren't going to save them either. I mean, just to be clear, on the day that news was announced, I mean, I think the stock barely budged, and it shouldn't have budged, and maybe it saved it from being down another 20%, which is what it seems to do every day. This is shocking, and it's been shocking that the shenanigans that I think have been going on.
I wonder what he means by that, the shenanigans that have been going on. Look at these comments. It's called naked shorting and market sentiment manipulation.
The whole thing is
How about that one? Market sentiment manipulation. What does that mean? You're manipulating market sentiment. Oh, okay. Why does this segment sound scripted? Well, because it's on a TV channel. You saw the teleprompters, no? You see the teleprompters in one of these shots. See the teleprompters. I mean, it sounds scripted. What are you talking about? Of course it's scripted. It's on TV. These people. Why are y'all so obsessed with AMC? Sounds like y'all are trying to drive the company into the ground. Trying to manipulate your audience? Yeah, that's it. They're trying to manipulate the audience. You would be able to spot that. You should be able to. Jesus. Now, Sergeant Baloney. Hello. Let's see. Talking about puts. What about puts? What about puts? Yeah, you're going to get crushed on puts. Puts, buying puts? No. Probably not. Let me see here. AMC got vapor. Oh, we got Donnie. That's right. That's right. Model 3 dude has got Donnie George. And I'll just click his link because yeah. Let's copy this link. And yeah. So
it's not fun.
So we got requests coming into Donahue about his opinion on him being appointed to the board of AMC. Well, the way that reads is like he's already been appointed to the board. I mean, well, of course, anybody who knows that the basics of corporate finance, you're not appointed to the fucking board.
It's not financial advice, not legal advice for entertainment educational purposes only.
Right. So one disclaimer.
Please don't make any financial decision based on anything I say in these videos. That being said, hit the like button, subscribe button, all that YouTube algorithm stuff, so you get the videos I put them out, so you don't think and see me analyze that data. Like I tell every day,
it's false.
False narrative of the market, so we can make bad trading decisions.
I mean, imagine like saying something like that, repeating that so much, you probably believe it. You probably do. Oh, yeah, the data is false. It's meant to confuse us so we can make bad trading decisions. Well, then, motherfucker, if you know that, which, I'm just saying hypothetically, theoretically, for the sake of argument, if you purport to know that, then why are you doing the same fucking thing that has obviously not worked the whole time? That shows that you are deficient. That reflects poorly on you, sir. It does. Anyway.
A lot of people have been talking about getting AMC retail investor on the board of AMC, or possibly even two.
Why?
AMC retail investors on the board.
What's the point? You're trying to accelerate the fucking collapse of the company.
If I'm going to run to be on the board of AMC, I've been getting texts about it and messages about it. And they say, well, Donahue, you got a Juris Doctorate. And you're a
yeah, but you can't fucking practice, can you? Notice how he worded that. I have a Juris Doctorate. Who says that? When's the last time you heard anybody talk about having a doctoral degree in law. Nobody talks about it like that. Unless, of course, they can't say that they're a lawyer because they're no longer a lawyer. That must be a fucking shitty position to be in. To have a law degree and not be able to use it. What a waste. Well, that's what happens when you defraud your fucking clients, right? And you get dis-fucking-barred. That's who this is, a dis-fucking-barred lawyer. Former lawyer. Yes, but he has a Juris Doctorate. Congratulations, Dr. George.
And you're also certified in financial fraud investigation. So,
oh, okay.
Be the ideal
right.
fit to be on that board because of my law enforcement background, because I have a Juris Doctorate law degree, because I am certified and trained to investigate financial fraud.
That's nonsense.
And I'm going to tell you guys something. Would I be willing to do it? Maybe.
Maybe.
If there was enough support from the community pushing me to do it, then I would do it. But it's not something that I am like inclined to do unless I get a lot of support from the community. So if we as a community come together and decide we're going to put 2 people or vote 2 people in on the board of AMC,
that'll never happen.
I believe with my background, my experience, my education, I would be a good fit for the board, but I would only do it.
You wouldn't be a good fit for the fucking board of directors on a goddamn lemonade stand, dude. Give me a fucking break. But check this out. This is shocking, sort of, and it's sort of, you know. Well, anyway, where is it? Where is it? Did he take it down? Son of a fucking... Here it is. Here it is. Here we go.
This is not financial advice, not legal advice.
We already heard the one disclaimer.
YouTube has shut me down. They shut Mike Marine down. They shut down our monetization.
Oh!
Whoa! Why they do that? And it's because you have invalid traffic.
Wait a minute. Are you saying that?
Just a second there, Professor. We fixed the glitch.
They fixed the glitch? He's no longer monetized? So I realized a long time ago that we're just going to have to deal with these guys. You know, I came into this thing green. You know, I wanted to get these guys kicked off YouTube. And then what happened? Classic universe. Classic karma universe. I got kicked off YouTube. Yeah, isn't that nice? But, you know, then they realized that, well, we were wrong about that. And they actually revised their policy. I'm not saying that they did it for any reason that I was related to. But let me just say that now they have a 3-strike policy for these types of community guideline infractions. They didn't give me any strikes. They just fucking deleted my channel. Just like one day I couldn't even log in. So now they do the right thing. They demonetize you first, and then they, you know, give you another chance and all this kind of stuff, and then you can get the strike removed and all this. I'm not talking copyright strikes. I'm talking community guideline strikes. Yeah. So he got a strike, and they demonetized him, and they said it was you know, what did he say? Invalid traffic or something.
They shut down our monetization, and I did a little bit of research on why they do that, and it's because you have invalid traffic. Well, the legal reason or something like that. There's no way for me to have invalid traffic because I put up my videos.
Well, obviously they're talking about, you know, probably people who view the videos, like, you know, spammy.
If people see them, they see them. If they don't, they don't. So Here are the two options that I believe might have happened.
Here we go.
One,
here's the explanation.
YouTube has some kind of bug that they need to fix, but
not a bug. It's a feature, man. Not a bug.
It's just kind of weird that it's going after people who talk about AMC, GME, this fraud and corruption in the stock.
Oh, see, there's that. Now you said it. Now you've said it. Let's see. Let's play the game. Can we figure out why this clown was demonetized?
But it's just kind of weird that it's going after people who talk about AMC, GME, this fraud and corruption in the stock market. So if it's a bug, hopefully it'll be fixed relatively soon.
Yeah, because you got to have some money coming in, right? You're not making it in the market. Yeah, I think, my opinion, knowing the community guidelines fairly decently, probably misinformation or spam. Spam in that you can't really post the same video, the same shit over and over and over. And I know what some people are thinking, but Scott, that's what you do. I mean, all of your streams are the same. This is all you ever do. Aha. But, crucially, this channel actually, in many ways, is immune to a lot of those guidelines. In the sense that we talk about these things, we highlight these things to bring attention to them, to educate people, to show other viewpoints and say, look at how misinformed this is. This is misinformation, and here's the data that supports that claim about this other claim. And so they actually have carved out in the community guidelines exceptions for documentary and educational content that analyzes content that otherwise would be in violation of the community guidelines. So I feel, completely, I don't want to say protected, but I don't have to worry if I'm playing a clip where somebody claims that Ken Griffin murders babies, or even if I say that, something like that. Hey, next thing these guys are going to claim that XYZ. It's not really a concern because we're not saying it. And that's the difference. I think that may have been what snagged me up before. Because as far as I could tell, they didn't have that, which is kind of a weird oversight. But hey, better late than never.
But
here we go.
Also could be.
Here's what it really is, okay? So he gave us the first option, which is always bullshit. Now here's the real reason.
The bad actors have put so much pressure on YouTube that they allegedly don't need our shares, but they seem to be very concerned about our content. If you don't need our shares, if what we're saying is incorrect,
straw man argument
if what
here.
we're saying is false, why would you be putting pressure on YouTube to shut us down?
Well, I mean, and this is the face of somebody who doesn't value truth or decency, quite frankly, because this clown has the nerve to sit there and say, if what we're saying is false, why do you care what we're saying? I mean, imagine if everything worked that fucking way. If nobody cared if shit was true. If nobody cared that there was data or not to back up a claim. That's not the kind of that's not the kind of YouTube that I think anybody wants to have. That's not the kind of community. That's not the kind of society. That's not the kind of anything that people want to have. Where people are just free to spout whatever nonsense, cloak it, dress it up, put lipstick on it, and fool people with it. That's essentially what's happening. You are fooling people. You're presenting invalid information as valid information and making it hard, if not impossible, for someone to break out of that cycle of being caught in this misinformation. And obviously, it's always on us to click the buy or sell button. But we can't have content that is driving people in the wrong way. So clearly, blatantly, and seemingly unconcerned with, any semblance of decency here. So, I mean, he doesn't get it. I mean, to a degree that it doesn't surprise me. It doesn't surprise me. But, he's got a Juris Doctorate, so maybe I'm wrong and he's right about this, but I don't think so. Why would anybody, who would say that? What lawyer would say that? I don't see it. I mean, again, and this is why this clown isn't a lawyer. He just said he doesn't care about the truth. He doesn't care about the truth. Yeah.
And then, here's the other thing, and this might be more nefarious. Could it be that these bad actors are allegedly or possibly using bots to go to our channels?
Oh, yeah.
Knowing that those fake bots would trigger YouTube to shut us down. Now,
why would anybody waste their time doing that shit? Why? That's all I gotta say. Let's see here. Now, let's see what Al from Boston gets wrong.
But it's Al from Boston. Let's kick it off.
Let's kick it off.
Take a look at this. This was the Form 8K where they announced the news that AMC would be selling shares. Let me make this a little bit bigger for you guys. Here you go. This was the document, the 8K that was just released earlier today. And 40 million shares to our equity distribution agreement with Citi Global. Remember them? Barclays, remember them? And B. Riley Securities, and of course Goldman Sachs as a sales agent. Okay. They said they were selling it at the money. So it was supposed to be at, let's go back here. This morning it was $13.63 at 40 million. That would have given us what? Like freaking 500 million or something. Now it's at $8.62 post actually.
What's he talking? What?
So I don't know what to make of it. We tried to tell everybody in the past, when you're doing business with Citi, you're going to get hosed down. You're going to get sprayed down. I'm telling you right now. And that's exactly what happened, which makes no sense to me. It's nonsensical.
Yeah, I mean, Citigroup, man, those bastards. Boy, when they sell shares, and what is he? I don't know.
When you really think about it,
I don't know.
You're doing. They let out a huge release, right? Opening up this amazing venue of Taylor Swift and her friends and all those people and all this other crazy stuff, and then they dropped that 40 million shares, and I guess that's supposed to.
Well, that's what we thought too, but apparently not.
I don't know. But I just know.
I don't know. Who did they expect?
This is what we said before, guys. Like people on this channel.
And who cares?
These guys are involved.
To be honest, really,
it's bad news. It's bad news.
They always focus on the shit that doesn't matter. Like, Citi. Oh yeah, they're gonna. It's fraud. It doesn't matter who the fuck it would have been. It doesn't matter. They focus on the shit. It doesn't matter at all. Like, instead of buying a stock at a certain price and focusing on, trying to make a profit, it's, the sales agent they use clearly is fraudulent.
It really is.
Sure.
Citigroup, Barclays, B. Riley, and Goldman Sachs. So it's a mess. It's gross. It's pretty good. It's about as gross as it can get. But nothing we can do. Hold on tight, I suppose, and just see what's going on.
I expected more of a fight.
Did this? That's the other thing. It's like
I expected more of a fight from him.
9/6, 9/23, 9/6. So it was sold on the 6th, which was today.
No, it's not.
It doesn't tell us exactly what date the transaction was.
Was?
It just says it was, but it didn't say.
Does it say it was? It says they authorized them to do it.
So if it was at the money, then it was.
Entered into an equity distribution agreement to sell up to 40 million shares from time to time through an at-the-money offering program. It does not say anywhere. Actually, second to last paragraph. The common stock will be offered and sold. Will be. That is a that does not indicate that it already happened. As far as I remember from English. Yeah. Yeah. Al, typical Al, not reading anything, fucking misinterpreting what he does, butcher through reading.
I don't know what time they executed the trade at, but
they're not. Yeah, what time they execute the trade at? That's how. Yeah, that's how it works, Al. Yeah, they tell you the time because they do it all at once. You know, clown.
$13 down to $8.62. If they did it post market hours, and they sold at 8 instead of 13.56, something like that, it would have been probably what, close to $500 million, 500 million. Now it's $8.62. Do you see what I'm saying? It's because they have to cover those swaps.
Oh, it's because they have to cover the swaps. Where's Bigham's when we need him? Oh, the swaps. Phase 6 kicking in.
That means at $13.52. I haven't seen it.
Jesus fucking Christ.
We haven't seen any documentation that says, hey, it's going to be sold at whatever price or whatever. But the usual suspects are involved: Barclays, of course, Citi, and Goldman Sachs. You know, it is what it is. There they are. I don't know. I don't know what to make of it. I do want to see you guys.
You don't know what to make of it? How about this? The company is failing. They need money. Contrary to what people believe, you have the balance sheet. You could see that they need money. You could see that this thing is a sinking ship. So they took steps to raise money. What more is there to make of it? What more is there to make of it? It doesn't fit into your squeeze narrative, does it? No. What more is there to make of it?
On a live, we're going to probably be doing a live very soon, if not tonight, maybe the next day or so, to discuss this and other matters that we need to finally have a real chat about where the future is, you know, trying to recover and recoup and claw back. Look who it is. Accepted by Derek Van Zandt, managing director. Imagine that.
Now, what is he, a Zionist or something? Like
Derek Van Zandt. Van Zandt. All right, whatever. Doesn't say time, doesn't say price, no value of the shares.
Well, that's what an at-the-money fucking offering is.
Guys, I don't know what to tell you. It's just gross.
How about
gross?
We were wrong.
I hope
we lost.
Hope you try to
we have to move on.
We have a plan. We are going to execute on it. So just hang tight. We're going to.
He's got
a little bit further.
Wait a minute. Wait a minute. He's got a plan. Listen.
Shares. 40 million. Oof. Guys, I don't know what to tell you. It's just gross. It's just super, super gross. I hope you try to keep your morale up. We have a plan. We are going to execute on it. So just hang tight. We're going to hang tight. We're going to talk about it a little bit further, and just
right because all of your other plans worked out so well. I mean, the past doesn't dictate the future. Yes, it does not. However, you know, there's a market trend here of failure on this guy's behalf, on his part. I mean, this is typical Al. Oh, I have a plan. We have a plan. We got something in the works, guys. Don't worry. I got it. I'm hiring a lawyer. What happened with that? Oh, yeah. It was dismissed with prejudice in a one-sentence judgment. Doesn't get much more terse than that. One sentence. Hopes and dreams washed away with prejudice.
couple days be available. Hit that like button, hit the subscribe button, make sure the notification is on, especially if we go live. We got a lot going on. Just because I haven't made videos doesn't mean I'm not up to something. Believe me.
Oh,
we've been up to
right.
stuff.
Okay, we've been up to stuff. Yeah, I'm sure you've been up to a lot of shit. There's Mr. Bag, Hong Kong. Nah, no, I don't think Mr. Bag. Plenty of bags here already to choose from. No more silverback AMC. Yeah, emergency alerts. We got all kinds of stuff here. AMC stock is about to go bankrupt. The stock's about to go bankrupt. Why we sold off from Trading Jesus. Trading Jesus says that they probably, because they sold 40 million shares. When does AMC end for retail? When does it end for retail? Well, that's up to you, isn't it? Isn't that up to the individual?
What's going on, everybody? All right. Took some time this morning to take a break from this, but just looking at everything here, I was reading an article, Wall Street Journal. AMC stocks fall after movie chain announces share sale. Remember I said the cleanup operation ends this week? Well, this is it. And it says here, shares of AMC Entertainment traded sharply lower Wednesday morning after the company announced its plan to sell the 40 million common shares. That's really not what it was. The fact that Popcorn put in the paperwork that warning people not to invest in the company because of the hit on the price. But the interesting part here says AMC said it plans to use the proceeds to bolster liquidity, which they had a good amount, repay debt, which isn't due until 2026, among other things. Yeah.
2025, we now learned, right? From MSNBC. So no, not 2026, Lou. 25.
Take care of your boys on the street. All right. Here's the deal on this. And this is
Also, in classic Lou, everybody's reverting to their classic forms. We're seeing the distilled ass version of all of these guys here. Classic Lou. Remember, I warned you this was going to happen. I told you this was going to happen. I said the cleanup operation ends this week. Lou always told us ahead of time. He always knew. He always knew. And he always made sure to tell us that he knew and that he told us. That's a manipulation tactic. It's quite insidious. It's gaslighting, really. I don't know if he told us or not. Doesn't matter. What matters is that we believe that Lou told us.
Okay. The shares have not hit yet, the process of it, whatever. The math might be off, whatever, but we're not going to get a MOASS. We're not going to get a short squeeze. Might get
Say what?
Whatever, but we're not going to get a MOASS. We're not going to get a short squeeze. Might get a run, but we're not going to get a MOASS. We're not going to get a short squeeze. Might get a run because after the company has the liquidity positive numbers, and if they do something with that, at the end of the day, the company's cleaned up. And you'll probably have some price kick up there, and they're not going to drop any more shares on top until it gets to a nice juicy amount. So for people looking for a way out, that's your way out. But at the end, don't tell me, I'm not, whatever, your money is your money, my money is my money. But in your brain, start thinking about, when do you stop fucking around with this company? Because you can clearly see every chance they get, they're going to dilute. And I've been saying this from before.
Oh, dear.
The whole thing.
See? Right there.
Because you can clearly see every chance they get, they're going to dilute. And I've been saying this from before.
Yes, you have.
AMC, the whole thing. It just became the best short squeeze ever. And look what they did. Just keep that in your head.
This short squeeze was a complete and fucking disaster. And let this be a lesson if people want it to be. I've never been a fan of the style of trading, trying to force these short squeezes and gamma squeezes and whatever else, because you just can't. In 2023, come on. I don't know. It's just not a very wise move at this point. And I didn't think it was in 2021 because plenty of people, the die was cast then. FOMO is fucking real. And it got a lot of people trapped.
Got one more video. I got to get into the email to read it out to you, but
okay.
When does this end?
When does it end? Well, whenever you say it ends. Whenever you say it. It's been diluted today. No. Shout out to Thomas James. I don't know. Thomas Smallbone. Yeah. There's a couple other ones I want to look at here real quick. And actually, I'm just going to play. So Roensch Capital's got kind of a nice little gimmick here. Where's his gimmick? Well, let's see. Exposing myself. Oh, great. Right here. I'm down hundreds of thousands. So this fucking guy, I listened to this on the way to work this morning. Okay.
24 hours a day, 7 days a week, you can call 662-WRENCH and tell me something, ask me a question, and you may just end up on the show. We have an AMC stock question coming in here from Justin from Riverside, California. Let's hear from Justin here.
Hey, Wrench. My name is Justin. I'm from Riverside, California. I love your show.
I should do this.
I have a question for you about
for Model 3, dude.
Unfortunately, I find myself in a hole that I never thought that I could ever get myself into. But my situation is such that I would need AMC to get to $63 in this post-conversion price to be even.
60.
I'm down in this play, like seriously enough to buy a house in most cities in this country in cash. And I'm in a tight spot. Just recently lost my job, and I'm trying to figure out if I need to start selling off shares. But it would be at a like 80 to 85% loss. And I could really use your advice here. Do you see a future?
So, well, I'm going to let it play this section right here.
To start selling off shares, but if I did, it would be at a like 80 to 85% loss. And I could really use your advice here. Do you see a future, either near or far, where AMC like recovers to the $60 to $70 range, which effectively would be like $6 or $7 in the old money, right? But
the old money, yes, the old money. When I heard that this morning, I like what would possess someone to call up Roensch Capital and say, hey, man, I need some advice from you. Do you think XYZ? Why would you ask him? Why would you ask him? Assuming that this guy is a fan of Roensch Capital. He said he's a fan of the show, whatever. Okay. So you know him. You've listened to him for a while. Has he been right? Has he gotten it fucking right? Or are you in a situation now where you have to call him back and say, hey, man, thanks for all your great advice over the years, but I need some more advice. Do you think that, I might be able to get out, like, break even? How the fuck would he know? What has he known? What has he done for you? Why? It just makes no sense. Like, clearly you haven't learned anything. And, I don't like hearing these types of calls or anecdotes. Oh, I'm down this much and I lost my job and my dog and my wife left and everything. Okay. Well, you have two choices. You can go write a country song about your experience, go to Nashville, maybe sell it. Or you can man the fuck up and maybe think about why you're in this position, whom you listen to, and then don't ask the same person. It just blows my mind that these people still want to trust these grifters. they still want to trust them and give them a shred of fucking respect when they deserve none. It blows my fucking mind.
But like post-conversion, it's 60 to 70. Do you see a world where that's feasible or possible? If you could answer this for me, I'd greatly appreciate it. Again, Justin from Riverside, thanks so much.
Okay, appreciate you, Justin. Hey,
that is the sound of a fucking sad and defeated ape. I mean, that, you know, I don't like hearing that. I really don't. It sucks. But, you know, hey, he's got a smirk on his, he's got a smile on his face. He's got some good news, I bet.
Now, first of all, I have good news and I have bad news.
Right.
First of all, the bad news is I'm sorry for the situation you find yourself in, losing your job.
How is that bad news?
I'm sure you will get out
It's his
of
bad
this
news
situation, but in the interim, I'm not going to pretend like it doesn't suck. It sucks, right? But when you said 63 bucks in a post-conversion environment, you need to understand that you are in, I know it's all relative, but compared to people who maybe bought the peak, you're in a much better situation than many. Now, I'm going to take a look at this chart. Now, before we do, I just want to say again, Justin, again, I apologize for the situation you find yourself in. Again, it sucks. But you absolutely, no matter what, have to do what's best for you.
That's a good place to stop this video. 2 minutes and 22 seconds in. That's probably the best thing that he says in this whole video, because he goes on to say, you know, oh, yeah, of course it can get up to 70, 72. You know, just hang in there if you can. But if you have to sell, then you should sell. I mean, okay, great. Great advice. Like, so helpful. Not really feeling that. The other one was, where is it? Okay.
Adam Aron has done it again with AMC Entertainment. Now, don't deny
you got Adam Aron
that this guy enjoys watching the stock price go down. And I say that slightly sarcastically because, of course, everybody wants the stock price to go up. But Adam Aron is focused on one thing and one thing only, making sure AMC Entertainment has enough cash on hand to pay him a big fat bonus until the day he decides to retire or until the day he decides to destroy the company. Now,
oh, right, because if he destroys the company, I'm sure that he gets a bonus. I gotta go through the corporate charter, find that clause, but I'm sure he has, and he'll give us a link to it in the description and everything else, right next to his Webull affiliates link. Okay. Wow. All right.
I say that and I feel a little bit bad doing so because I do own some shares of AMC Entertainment, but we have gone so far off course from the original trajectory of this movement in squeezing hedge funds. Now, we are paying hedge funds. We are selling directly to them to the tune of the entirety of the short interest. Let's discuss the numbers. Let's discuss why AMC stock is going down.
The entirety of the short interest?
Something you're interested in?
No. No, I mean, damn near the entirety. Well, short interest. It's funny that he mentioned short interest, okay? Where is the short interest anyway? Good question. 9.6 closing bell. Estimated short interest according to Ortex 10.28%. 16.22 million. So yeah, the entirety of the short interest. Yeah, way less. Way less. We got to skip his dumb intro.
2023, the best year every single day.
Well, we know where this is going.
At least 6 free stocks up to 12.
Yeah, free stocks.
Attack. This is
short ladder attack
on your cash balance.
I love this.
Webull is also available in the United Kingdom, so make sure to check that out down there. Guys, this is not a short ladder attack.
Oh, it's not?
This is not manipulation.
It's not.
This is not corruption.
It's not.
This is dilution. Now, you have been...
No, well, yeah, I guess maybe it is. Maybe it is, but you know, I think he's got it quite just a little bit wrong. And I'll show you what I mean. I think what he meant was delusion. Maybe he said dilution. I don't know. I heard delusion. I don't know.
Lied to.
Maybe I'm being delusional.
You have been lied to by a lot of the other guys on YouTube. You have been lied to by a lot of the people on X.
I'm curious now.
Calling it these days. And you have been lied to in the sense that delusion is the reason the stock price has risen in the past. It'll be the reason that the stock price will rise in the future. If you cannot see the correlation between 40 million shares being diluted into the market, or announced as being diluted into the market, and a catastrophic decline in price. AMC, if you're not aware, is at the all-time low right now. It was never low. Guys, we were imprisoned in our own homes. AMC theaters were shut down because they weren't essential.
Oh, I love this argument.
The company was bringing in $0 in revenue, essentially. And here we are at a lower stock price. Now you tell me that Aron is leading us to the promised land.
Would you tell me that $72 is a fair valuation for a company whose locations are closed during a pandemic, and it should be trading at 72? I mean, I don't think anybody here, I better not say that. Here comes Donahue George will pop up. But clearly, $72 is not a fundamentally supported valuation, which we know that the market sometimes gets irrational, and that short-term trading, or the so-called popularity contest aspect of the market, the voting booth, the voting machine aspect of the stock market, kind of takes the fore. And we get these bits of irrationality and inefficiency, whatever you want to call it. You know, more often than not, they get corrected pretty damn quick. What happened? Well, it got corrected pretty quick. It didn't get it took a little bit longer because, well, I mean, you had a group of investors who were holding on to their shares that they purchased at high cost bases. So, of course, it seems like it's going to hold somewhat higher than it should. You're not having the normal kind of dump quantity that you had with the pump. So there was a lot of pumping and a lot of dumping, but there's also a lot of holding during the dump. That was you guys. That was you, Clay. So, you know, I find this argument to be pretty dumb, because you're comparing this to 2021 when anybody who knows, you know, how to read a balance sheet, how to kind of value a stock, and how to evaluate valuations and pricing would probably be able to say, well, yeah, that clearly was overvalued. Clearly that was not supported by fundamentals, and it's not going to stick. What's wrong with that? That's the way it is. That happens. It happens. And you were counting on it happening, actually. You wanted it to happen again. But now we're talking about fundamentals because, you know, no squeeze for 2 years. So it's disingenuous and it's stupid because it doesn't reflect the context of each situation, as well as the reasons and the kind of the impetus, if you will, for the move. That there's no basis for it to be $70 in 2021, in 2023, in 2019. None. in any of those cases, any of those years, this is off the charts, way, you know, way beyond what it should be valued at. The market takes care of those things.
You tell me that he is making good decisions with the company that we own.
Well, I mean, and I'm going to stop it right here because I don't need to listen to any more of this. You know, you can if you want, but, you know, that has nothing to do with Aron making decisions. I mean, he didn't pump the stock. Was he the one who bought all the shares? I don't think so. And all the call contracts in 2021? I don't think so. So I don't see how Aron's leadership has anything to do with it. The reality is his leadership has gotten you to this point. Whether good or bad, for better or worse, the company is still solvent, or at least operating as such. You know, and that's his job. It would have been worse if AMC went out of business, right? Or would it have been? I don't know anymore.
You tell me.
You tell me.
AMC Entertainment is in a good place. You can't. The numbers prove it. The numbers speak for themselves. It's not just me.
I mean, yeah, it's not in a good place. But again, like, I don't see how this does not compute for me. It's, you know, I don't get it. All right, one or two more here. Let's see what we got. Oh, well, I tell you what, I'm getting breaking news here, and I don't have the breaking news soundtrack available, but now if I get a copyright fucking strike, okay, I'm going to mute that. Oh boy, oh Jesus. Oh, God. Wow. So dramatic. Hey, whatever happened to that one guy? The Commander 35. Is he still around? What happened with him? What is it? What is it? Hard candy? It's a bag of hard candy? How bizarre is this? I hope he's not in that old guy's house still. Oh my God. The knife made me think of it because the Commander 35 brought out his gun. Like, okay. Ape Father. Yeah, so everything he's got is pretty much on Ape Father or Lou. Yeah, it's not even worth it. Not even worth it. Okay. Curious on this one. Whoops. Let's see here.
Hey, good morning, everybody. It's Fartaculacticus. I woke up this morning.
Wait a minute. Son of Fuck You and World Series champion of Dice 2 years in a row, right?
Really
Fartaculus?
pissed off, and not because I'm old and cranky, but because I saw a post by Froggy Styles that was connected to Tony DeNaro.
Oh, no.
And the way the smugness of it was, it just came off in the tweet as if his opinion mattered. Let me be frank with everybody. Like, I don't know if you saw Morant's rants last few videos on Thomas Smallbone. Me and a friend were checking that out a few weeks ago. He just happened to beat me to it, but I'm glad he did because he has more viewers than I do, more subscribers. And I'm glad it's out there. If there's a connection with Apollo, that's phenomenal because it gives a little bit of a bridge to connections that have happened.
Oh.
Most of the most prominent ones, DeNaro, Reese, Kalinovic, Micah Reeser, Scavenger. You can even go to the no side.
The no side.
Financial background whatsoever. And they were pumping the stock. I think, this is my opinion, I think when Bigham's, I'm just spilling beans for you because I'm so angry about that tweet. I think when Brian Reese saw Matt Kohrs making money, and he was living in, it looked like a basement, delivering Domino's pizza, I think he honestly got jealous and that he believed he knew more. He and Randall Cornett. That's what I believe, like human nature wise.
Oh dear.
So they started making those videos. They started pumping up the stock. He started calling out Matt Kohrs, who is just as responsible for what has happened. Don't let him fool you with the, it's Adam. It is Adam Aron's fault for sure, but he took part of it with Trey. He was right next to him, almost literally. And he's on it's Adam Aron's fault tour. And then you have Boss Blunts. He jumped in on it. Then you have Tony DeNaro, as if he was an expert. He jumped in on it. You have the Massalorian, his sidekick. He jumped in on it. There's a few others I don't want to mention because it's hard to pin down as if they were trying to pump something. Cat Striker jumped in it. They all saw the opportunity. I believe in the beginning, yes, they were into that, but then they got taken. Somebody got to them. Somebody offered them something.
CIA,
the two houses,
FBI,
that Marcel and Brian Reese both got. One of them was paid cash that I know of. Then you have some of their spouses.
So let's see the receipt.
Or partners have more extensive police backgrounds than the males do. I don't know if that's any indication of how their houses run. Like Cat Striker has a drunk driving conviction.
Oh, well, okay.
I'm not knocking them because people have things. They've done things, probably regrettable things. But that shows irresponsibility. And who knows what she did with that money from GoFundMe? And another friend brought up this to me.
She bought the plane.
How do we know that it wasn't sourced or funded by somebody else just to get Ken Griffin and get the heat off of Adam, to make Adam look like he was,
God. Jesus Christ.
How do we know any of that? It's possible. Where'd the rest of the money go? Because it's not that expensive to do that stuff. It is expensive, but not to the extent of the money she made from it.
Not that expensive, I guess.
The ones that have like the most of the financial experience were either on Twitter, like Markets with May, Thomas James, but the more prominent ones, the ones with the views, the ones that have the silver tongue, those are the ones that didn't have any kind of experience. In fact, Tony's has been erased. You can't find it. The only thing that's left is screenshots. There's nothing in there that even alludes to him having any.
Is he talking about this Darth Vader, or is it somebody else now, Darth Vader? Because I used to be Darth Vader. I don't know.
So when he puts that tweet out, I'm not voting for so and so. Who cares? There's nothing there. He's just somebody on YouTube talking about it. Talking about it as if he's an expert. Now listen real quick, you guys. I'm an HVAC refrigeration technician.
Oh, really? Cool.
I was able to figure out that the reverse stock split was bad. So if they're that educated, they knew. They knew what they were doing. They all knew. From Bigums all the way down to Phil for real. They knew. Philip Pitts. They all knew, man. And now they're feeling the heat. I hope they feel it for years and years to come. Because this is something so monumental in our country, so huge, that they're trying their best to take complete control over everything. I can see it. I hope others can too. And I hope this helps people. I mean, like this is all public information that anybody can find.
Model 3, I thought you were going to say...
takes a lot of hard digging.
This is why you should...
I don't want to keep everyone's day up, but man...
Not do drugs.
The gall that this freaking a-hole has, Tony DeNaro. Even after all this.
After all this.
You know what pisses me off the most?
What?
Is that they can stand like somewhere or walk around. But when you go up to them face to face and you say, you freaking, get pissed off at them and ask them, they'll run and hide just like they do on Twitter.
Whoever did that, though,
Just
how do we know?
On Twitter, they have to have. Yesterday, Sugar Kush got attacked, and they said they were going to beat him up. But notice they have to have a group of people all the time with them. They can never do it one-on-one. Never. They always run. It's very rare when you can pin somebody down and talk to them one-on-one.
Well,
they gotta always
social media
with them. They always gotta have their flying monkeys with them, so they can feel safe, so they can talk tough.
What does this have to do with the fact that you lost all your money? Like, for real?
Freaking school. Like, remember when I was young and I was in the playground? Oh, hold me back, like that. Anyway, I'm sorry, everybody. It just freaking made me angry. I hope you enjoy the videos that I do. It's just I try to get into the meat of the codes and stuff.
The codes.
But even those, like, they have them, but they don't do nothing about it. Nobody does anything about it. We're at a bad point in our history. Everybody try to have a good day. I'm going to try. Thank you.
Oh, yeah, for sure. So, what is this?
Courtesy flush.
Courtesy flush. Courtesy flush. Anybody know this one? Courtesy flush. This is from a few days ago, though. 2 weeks ago.
Give you all of the nutrients and flush out the bullshit. First and foremost, we're going to thank God because we haven't really lost. Now, what I want you to do is this, okay?
Oh, you haven't really lost? This was 2 weeks ago, so yeah. I'm pretty sure that they fixed the glitch right there already, but ooh.
Yeah. I'm going to have to go ahead and sort of disagree with you there.
Yeah, me too. So let me just tie this up this way. So, now I am a fan of these quotations. Like, in the short term, the stock market is a voting machine. In the long term, it's a weighing machine, right? Or, just when you think you've figured out the key to the stock market, the market changes the lock. Right? I like that one a lot. But my favorite quotation about markets and really life in general seems is one that's in the title of the stream. If it's obvious, it's obviously wrong. And it's not always the case. It's certainly not always the case that this is true. But in the case of AMC,
Do I think that's the case? I don't know. I don't really think that's the case.
Tony wouldn't. But I think, yeah. So I first learned of this quote from this podcast, Confessions of a Market Maker, that I've been subscribed to for a couple years, it seems like. And they interviewed this gentleman here, Walter Deemer, who was one of the founding members of the Market Technicians Association that ultimately would go on to create the Certified Market Technician certification and all that. So basically, the one of the founder in terms of what we consider modern technical analysis and charting, really. So a legendary type of figure, an old market dude. And he's just got a million quotes from a million, old time investors and all this kind of stuff. And so I really, recommend this podcast channel. But this quote. And then I found out that, okay, who said this? Who said this? And it turns out that the quotation is attributed to a gentleman named Joe Granville. And Joe Granville was another trader, analyst, author, technician who created something that the apes really loved to use as part of their grift, as something that confirmed that they know that they were right. And it's so wild, but it's the on-balance volume indicator. So Joe Granville created the on-balance volume indicator to show the relationship between price and volume. And the theory is that volume precedes price. That's the whole deal with OBV. And so you can use divergences and, movements in the same direction versus movements in opposite direction in the OBV, and higher lows in the price and lower highs in the OBV, those kind of things for bullish and bearish divergences. In other words, it doesn't tell you how many shares are being held or anything like that. It's an indicator. Okay, so I thought that was just fantastic synchronicity that this dude created this indicator that the apes are misusing to interpret, to support their claims of being right about all this shit. But also, he said, if it's obvious, it's obviously wrong. And they are using his indicator the wrong way to say, look how obvious it is. You see what I'm saying? It's just, you could never make that up. You could never make that up. I don't think one could ever make something like that up. But it's true. Just another thing that's just like been almost like, I don't know, one of those little things that happens that was like, yeah, this is fucking great. And I know that nobody else is saying this. Nobody is saying if it's obvious, it's obviously wrong, first of all. And nobody was saying, hey, you're using the OBV wrong. I said that in 2021. But anyway, it's not a look at Scott toot his own horn situation. But just as a matter of fact, we've been talking about OBV for 2 years. And then this happens last year. I see this, or this year, 2 years. Wait, this was in... Okay, it came out in 2021, but I didn't see it until last year. That's when I made the video. So anyway, just a little bit of background on that quote that I like so much, that I think is so great because it encapsulates, if it's obvious, if every Tom, Dick, and Harry knows about it, if everybody's buying into it, if everybody's crowding in the same side, in other words, if it's obvious, if it's so obvious that your grandmother knows about it and is asking you if you bought, if you what about that AMC thing? What about that GameStop thing? If it's that obvious, it's usually obviously wrong, because that's just not how the market works. And the apes know this, actually. They know it when they say things like, they don't want to make 1 million billionaires that we read in a Reddit post earlier. They know on some level that it's how unlikely something like this becomes. The larger it becomes, the more widely known, the more public it becomes, the less likely it actually becomes. Because, even just putting it in the context of probability, if even 90% of traders end up losing money, I mean, you're talking about a group of unskilled, uninformed investors, retail investors, that are all crowded into one side. Yeah, just on the surface, I should probably be a little skeptical of this. And so I always look for those obvious things like that. What would seem obvious on the face You got to look for contrary angles. And oftentimes, those trades that are contrarian in nature, everybody's long. Sometimes the short trade is where you want to be. And everybody's never short, but there's a downside bias. I'm looking for the moment. I'm looking for the opportunities to go counter trend. Those type of things. So if it's obvious, it's obviously wrong. Doesn't always work. It's not always true, but it's worth considering. It's always worth considering. And nothing's foolproof. But anyway, we can hear this section too.
We love these type of wild stories on Confessions. Is there anything that stands out from your career, like just crazy, absurd story?
We'll listen to a little bit and then I'll say goodnight.
One of the crazy ones was that Parvin Norman escapade.
I might be
involved.
Afloat.
Yeah.
I might be. And what was the?
I'm sorry, not in the flood, because five money managers had tied up most of the stock. It was a very small stock.
I feel like
so add up the five managers, and they control all but 75,000 shares of the stock. And there's 150,000 shares short. And none of those five guys are going to sell. I'm not going to sell. Number 3 is not going to sell. Number 4 is not going to sell. Number 5 is going to sell. That only leaves
we'll get there.
shares,
Shoot.
150,000. Well,
it's a problem with looking for something in an hour-long video.
Always somebody backdoors. It's there's always somebody backdooring, and it's usually through Canada.
Usually through Canada. I love it. Usually through Canada. Okay. All right. Let's see here. All right.
That's probably not good. You got to have a little bit of the tension in your body, I think.
A lot of tension.
Yeah.
Because when you I will, every time I think I got this thing figured out, and this has happened for all 50 years plus. Every time I came up with the idea that I finally got this sucker figured out. I finally got it nailed. Sit back, put my feet up on my desk, light a cigar. I get my head handed to me.
Mm-hmm.
It's just the way it is. And the ones where you keep looking yourself in the mirror and say, is this really doing what I think it's doing?
This is like when you have figured out the key, they change the lock. He says that at some point in here, but that's the idea right there. Hey, I got this thing figured out. I could rest easy now. I'm on easy street. Light a cigar, and you get fucked.
Yeah, it's doing what you think it's doing.
Yeah. And
by the time it becomes obvious, it's obviously wrong.
There it is. By the time it becomes obvious, it's obviously wrong. God.
Yeah. And
by the time it becomes obvious, it's obviously wrong.
Yeah. And I like how when we were at breakfast,
Joe Granville,
we were talking about short selling, and you were like, oh well, when it's time to short, there'll be no shorts available.
Yeah, when the time comes to short, you won't be able to borrow it.
Exactly.
Oh,
hey.
Well, Walter,
and he also says, when it's time to sell, you won't want to sell. And when it's time to buy, you won't want to buy. And it's hard to fight that, But great interview, great episode, just fantastic, great guys, love it. Confessions of a Market Maker, worth a look. So anyway, this whole thing. I'm not like summarizing and trying to say, this is the end, because I don't believe it is. We already know Donahue George has been demonetized. But he said, I'm not going to change anything I do. I'm going to keep putting these videos out every day. Great. Yeah. It's not going away. Now, I started to say this earlier and I got sidetracked, but when I started this channel, it was like, I can't believe that there's no variety of opinion. Everybody's on the same side here. Everybody is saying the same thing. And I had never heard, if it's obvious, it's obviously wrong, or by the time it becomes obvious, it's obviously wrong. I'd never heard that before. But intuitively, there's an intuitive thing there. And so that's a red flag to me when everybody's on the same side of a trade, when it's so obvious like this, that oh yeah, I'll buy in, yeah, whatever, I'll buy in. What's the worst can happen? I'll just lose all my money that I put into it. And okay. But here I am getting sidetracked again. And I wanted to like provide, just some counterbalance, some other points. But then it became clear, like, these guys are grifters. Like, this is actually bad. This is actually bad. A lot of these guys should not be on YouTube. I'm going to get them kicked off. I'm going to get them removed from YouTube. Well, that didn't work, and it backfired, actually. So then I kind of, like we have to do sometimes, sometimes you have to revise your goal. Sometimes you have to change your, the target you're looking for. If it becomes clear that, hey, I'm not, that's not going to work. So then the new target, the new goal became, I want to get these guys demonetized. Like, okay, fine. You can go on YouTube and you can say whatever you want, and even if it's misinformation and whatever. Okay, fine. I can deal with that. But I can't deal with people getting paid, people making money, spreading misinformation, lies, basically doing fraud, or being so negligent in their ignorance that they can't provide accurate information. The fact that they're making money, and I'm not jealous, I don't need to make money on YouTube. Quite frankly, that's not why I started it. So it's not out of jealousy, it's simply out of decency that you should not make money on something so dishonest that is causing everybody to lose money. And you're perpetuating this, and it's getting more and more ridiculous as time goes on. And it became more and more obvious to them that they were right, and it became more and more obvious to the rest of us here that this thing was not going to end well. It's not going to end well. And here we are. Here we are. Right now. This is it. This is it. So, with that said, normally we have a message sometimes from one of our other sponsors, Tom Vu. Tonight, I'm going to go a little bit different direction with everybody's favorite, Tony Robbins.
My definition of success changed through the years to doing what I want.
And even Tony Robbins understands the value of changing and growing, changing definitions, changing goals, changing approaches, changing outlooks, changing as often as you need to. So, see what Tony says. I haven't listened to this clip. I'm not, advocating. I'm not making fun of. I'm simply, I just, want to end this with some words, other than mine. So anyway, Tony Robbins.
When I want, where I want, with whomever I want, as much as I want, in a way that hopefully also benefits other people simultaneously. That to me is ultimate freedom, that's success.
Look how young he is.
As the definition, at least for this weekend, say aye. All those opposed, motion's carried. Now, That was my idea of success, and I'd had that in my life, and I wanted it again. So I thought, okay, what I need to learn is there are all these things you can do. There's this and this and this, all these different elements you can study. I want to know one thing. What's the one thing, if you just work on that, everything else will fall into place? What is the number one key to all success? That's all I want to know. So I went around and I started studying it. I started picking up books. And have you ever done this? Have you ever asked yourself a question, picked up a book, opened maybe the middle of the book, and there's the exact answer you were looking for? How many have had an experience like that? So here I am, and sure enough, I'm reading through this book, and I open it up. Whammo! It says the number one key to all success is. Almost the very way I had language in my head. So I thought, sure enough, here it is, goal setting. I figured that's true. Because if you don't have a goal, you have no reason to use your skill or ability. I heard that old phrase that said, well, a man without a goal is like a ship without a rudder. They both end up on the rocks. Kind of corny, but true. I thought, that is it. The number one key to success is goal setting. Of course, I'm a good student, so I always read another book. The second book says, forget goal setting. Goal setting is nice, but that is not it. You can set goals to your blue in the face. What you've got to learn to do in your life is manage your time. Because you can have great goals, but if you don't manage your time, time is the only resource you can control. It is your life. I thought, that's true. The number one key to all success, time management. Of course, then I read a third book. It said, forget time management, forget goals. The whole key to it all is discipline. You can play with your time management all day long, but if you can't discipline yourself, you've got nothing. I thought, that's true, it's discipline. Till I read the fourth book, which says, forget discipline, forget time, and forget all this stuff. It's all belief. Because if you're disciplined but you don't believe it's going to work, it won't. Or even if it does, you won't see it working. Now, by the way, which one of these is truly the number one foundational key to all success? That's right, they all are. In fact, the list doesn't end here, does it? So that got me frustrated. I thought, God, how do you work on all these things simultaneously? I want to know the one thing that if you worked on this alone, everything else would fall into place. And I searched and I searched and I interviewed people until one day I came across the number one key to all success in life. If you're interested, you might want to write this down. Only if you're interested in the number one key to all success in life. If not, don't bother to jot it down. The answer I came up with, the number one key to all success is knowledge. Knowledge. I said, certainly people who succeed, they know things that other people just don't know.
They know things.
That's why they're so much more successful. I thought, knowledge is it. And as soon as I wrote down knowledge in my notes, I crossed it out because that's definitely not it. How could you even write that down? Come on. You got to know better than that. See, if it was knowledge, then everybody who's educated would be successful, and you know that's not true, right? How many of you in this room, how many of you people in this room right now know somebody who should change their life? They know they should change their life. They even know how they could change their life, but they still don't do it. How many of you know somebody like this maybe intimately? Yeah, that's right. So knowledge by itself is not enough. See, knowing is great, but it's not enough. Knowledge is not power. Knowledge is information. Power is something else. And what I think is the really number one key to all success is something I call personal power. This is really it. Jot it down. Personal power. That, to me, is the single number one foundational key to all success. If you use it, you can get everything else that you want. Personal power means the ability to take action, to follow through, to take the steps that are necessary to take an idea and translate it into reality. And it's the number one tool that most people in life never exercise, and it's the gift that every one of us has right now and at any moment in our life. Even if you haven't used this gift for 20 years, right now, by one decision, you could start using your power. You could start following.
So
take this idea
much
in your head
charisma.
and turn it into physical reality. Whether that idea is
so
how you
much
want to
energy.
your relationship, or how you want to influence your children, or the kind of money you want to make, or a business you want to start, it doesn't matter. It is available right now. If all you do is decide and then follow through. Now you go, but Tony, what if I do all that stuff and it doesn't work?
Oh.
Guess what? You'll learn something.
It's funny, hard to imagine this now as we look at you in this setting. But when you were in that 400 square foot apartment, 38 pounds overweight, broke, in this deep, dark hole.
Wait, why is he overweight if he's broke?
First thing you did, what was the first thought you had to get yourself out?
I think part of it is I felt so darn much pain, I had to change. You know, I was in a place where I hated what I was doing. I hated the environment. I thought to myself, why do I have to do this? Why am I experiencing all this in my life? I don't want to work. I don't want to do any of these things. And that didn't change me. Once I got enough pain, one day I changed the question I was asking myself. And instead of saying, why do I have to do this? Or how come this has happened to me? I ask the question of, what would happen if? What would happen if I turned my whole life around? What would happen if all of a sudden I went and learned some things that could change it all? And what I began to do literally is open up a new possibility. I think most people's lives, they fail primarily because they don't open up the possibility, so they never take the actions that could change their life. And because I asked, how can I turn my life around? You know, what can I do to make things work? I started getting new answers. You know, they say, ask and you shall receive. Ask and you shall receive. And the key is, if you ask, why is my life so horrible, you'll get lots of information about why it's horrible. If you say, why can't I ever succeed, your brain will tell you all the reasons why you can't. If you say, how come I always succeed? How can I turn this around? How can I make my life greater? How can I contribute? You'll get those answers too. If you want to change your life, change the quality of questions you ask yourself each day.